Hi, my name is iPhone, and I honestly don't know what or where to start because terrible things happens in the last few days, and I kind of a little bit disappointed on how this new year started. But first of all, I'm not gonna monetize this video, even though my channel is not big enough for monetizations. But if you're wondering how big enough for your channel for the monetization, if you remember last year in 2018, Logan Paul filmed the dead body right up close and just start making fun of the dead body, and YouTube started to change a lot in the systems. Before that, all you have to do is just get all of your videos up into 10,000 views, and you're ready for the monetization. So after Logan Paul incidents, so the YouTube system got changed for the monetization, and they decided that you must have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in a year. So if you don't have enough watch times in a year, so the watch time is just gonna be reset, and all you have to do is just try your best for your monetization. So if my channel's got monetization, I'm just gonna demonetize this video anyways because it's not related on most contents that I mostly do in this YouTube channel. So it's all start and in Asia is in the 2nd of January. Right now I am currently living in the USA, so it's the 3rd of January, so it should be happened yesterday, but for some Asian country it happens like 2 or 3 days ago. So terrible things happens, like it's like when you're celebrating Happy New Year's and you go out, you want to watch the fireworks, and there will be many people, and you some of you are not concerned about your safety because there's maybe vehicles around may crash you, and cause car accidents anyway. So actually it happens like after way for that, so it's in the morning, so people just don't mind their business after celebrating New Year's. They just gonna do their own thing, but it's the bad things happen. So first of all, I just let you guys a little bit disclaimers that for some Western country, or for Americans, or for Europeans, or some many country, most of you guys using cars, but in Vietnam, the place where I was born, because I'm Vietnamese of course, but in Vietnam or some Asian country, that there's a lot of people use motorbikes more than cars. Not sport motorbikes, just a normal like just motorbikes, just not kind of like be motorbikes. It's just not sporty, just a normal motorbikes. So you guys may gonna misunderstand the story. So just give you a disclaimer on how the transportation in Vietnam is way too different from the Western country or European countries and something like that. So in Vietnam, most of the people using motorbikes to go to work or go to school or go anywhere they want. So there's more motorbikes than cars. So let's get straight into the story. So this is real story. It is even on the news. It's not widespread on international yet. It's just some Vietnamese news, and it's just starting like 2nd of January, and there's a container truck, uh, like there's a drunken container truck drivers, and he losing control on the wheels, and then instead of he crashed the next truck, like right in front of the uh, container truck drivers. He crashed into 21 motorbikers. Again, I give a disclaimer, they are not sport motorbikers, they just normal, like low engine motorbikers. And you cannot imagine on the gigantic truck containers like crash into 21 motorbikers, which is small, much smaller than the container trucks. I'm just easy get truck mix up and truck containers or container trucks, but you know what I mean. And also sorry for my bad English anyway. But again, a truck that contains the containers, the large containers that crashed 21 motorbikers, and there's even like the footage as well. I'm not gonna show you the footage in this video. With these videos will not be edited anyway because this is so disrespectful for the victims and also for you guys is who has related with the victims as well. So I'm gonna leave the footage down in the description as well as a bunch of news. So I'm sorry in your non-Vietnamese speakers out there. I don't know if the news can translate from Vietnam to the whole articles to English or not, but I will be put in the description as many news as I can find related to the truck that contains the containers that related. So the result is many people got injured. There's some people got killed, and I'm not gonna reveal the names of that truck drivers because yeah, let the police do their thing. So after that happens, yeah, of course the truck drivers has to go to the police station and has to deal on death penalty or many jail time. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So after that truck accident that crashed 21 motorbikers, and lots of people sharing news on Facebook, sharing the footage on YouTube as well. I don't mind about it. Maybe useful for police and useful for you to share your angers. But what is more angers in this situation is after the accident, there's a youngsters trying to make fun of the incident, and yeah, and it was started like when the traffic lights go red, and the truck drivers did not stop the truck, and just crashed into 21 motorbikes that stopped at the red lights, and it crashed like at the back, so no one got the time for a reaction. So and there's a youngsters trying to make jokes on the incidents by when the red light comes, like people just gonna leave their motorbikes and just go to the sidewalks to see at the back if there's truck or cars or large vehicles to come for a crash, which is a super dumb things to do. I'm gonna leave the also the jokes down below. Not jokes in the in description. It's just like the footage of those youngsters doing such the horrible things that disrespect the victims who got involved into the truck accident. Which is super annoying because I thought that last year in 2018, after Logan Paul accidents, like people's know better, and then they start to learn from the mistake. You should not make joke on dead people. You should not make jokes on the victims who got involved into the accident or horrible things happens. And I don't know if I can judge humanities or not, but it's just Vietnamese youngsters make jokes on the Vietnamese truck accident, and I just feel like I really need to share my thoughts into these videos because that things I should do, because you cannot make jokes or you cannot make fun on the horrible things that happens, especially that I didn't make a mistakes for the last 1 or 2 years that, and I just only want people to speak English only into the also Vietnamese fan club Facebook group. So I find mistakes, it doesn't cause death on anybody. It can cause on their feeling hurt. So I apologize. I let those people speak any language they want, and I decided to make a videos on me to start over, and let everyone to speak any language that they want in the comment section down below. But you can focus on Vietnamese or English because that's the only two languages that I can only speak. So I learned my mistakes, and some people forgive me, some people didn't forgive me, but I appreciate that there's still people enjoy my contents, which mostly are playing also and Love Live Squad festivals and other random games. But you cannot forgive on the people who murder, especially the truck drivers in the stories in the news that I put down in the description, and a bunch of news and also the footage on how disrespectful the Vietnamese youngster trying to make jokes on the truck accidents and victims who got involved. And I and I just feel disappointed that I thought that there should be peoples who learn from other people's mistakes, from especially that last year, right, the New Year's, of course, it's not a good year to start, and you tell other people's, you can just sit there on the computers like me. You can only tell other people's to when you see bad things happen, drop the cameras down and do not make fun of the dead people. Do not make fun on the incident. Do not make fun on bad things happen, and do not make fun of the victims who got involved into the sad thing situation. And it still continues, like start the new year's on 2019. Yeah, if you're like non-Vietnamese speakers out there who are not Vietnamese nationalities, you guys still having fun with the New Year's, and I understand that because this news only appears in Vietnam, and I did read a lot of Vietnamese news, and I just see how bad that is. And yeah, I also love my own country. I love Vietnam. I love my own country, but I wish like people have better behaviors than that. And I honestly know from a deep down that Vietnamese people are better than this. Like we are better than this. Like we learn from the past mistake. Maybe we make a mistake twice, but there's some mistake that you cannot forgive, even though you did it at the first time. And like just like Logan Paul said on his tweets that this is first time that he makes fun of the dead people. Still, and there's some people or still amount of people cannot forgive him for making jokes on dead people because dead people are supposed to be respectful and also let the dead people like live rest in peace. But I just I don't know is that rude, but dead people are not the things that you can make jokes on. To be honest, dead people are not things that you can make jokes on. Also, the people who got injured, also not a thing that people can make jokes on. Just like the what I see for Vietnamese youngsters trying to make jokes on the truck accidents that crashed 21 motorbikers. Let me tell you again, not sport motorbikers, it's just the normal motorbikers. It's totally different on Westerns or European country. But those Vietnamese youngsters are making jokes on that truck accidents. It is totally unacceptable. And it's not a good way for Vietnamese people to start a New Year's. To be honest, I'm Vietnamese. If you're new here, I'm Vietnamese, of course. But most I just want to stay in the foreign communities to keep my channels like to be understand by everybody. So yeah. So let's talk about the truck drivers. If the truck drivers losing their wheels, even though he was drunk, or he had to just go straight and crash to another truck, which if he has the seat belts on, he's still make it alive because the seat belts is supposed to protect you. Even though airbag you can face the force equals as the real human punch you in the face, you still able to survive. But instead the truck driver just crashed to 21 motorbikers because some dead, some injured. A lot of people injured actually. And I just feels like it's super disappointed on the truck drivers. So what can we learn from the footage? So first of all, like I said, I'm gonna put a footage of the truck accident and also the youngsters disrespect the victims down in the description as well as a bunch of news that related to that. But what can we learn from that? So first of all you have to do is just drive safety, follow the traffic rules. Like all you have to do is just don't drink beers before um, uh, joining the traffic. Don't drink any alcoholic before joining the traffic. And if you're bikers in the situation, to be honest, for the Vietnamese youngster who make jokes on, just don't follow them. Don't just leave your motorbikes right in the middle of the road. And when the red light comes, like why not? If you don't feel like safely, all you have to do just look back, but and see if there's vehicles running. Like especially if you're motorbikers or you're just a normal bikers, all you have to do just look back and see if there's any large vehicles who lose control or lose their driving, or even just keep driving towards you. And if you see that situation, so first thing you can do is just try to sidewalk. Try to ride your bikes or motorbikes to the sidewalks to avoid the crash. Or you can just like there's some rules that you have to break this time, which is screw the red lights. Like you have to run forwards, or you can just go left or go right. But it was if only you have to look back first, so you can see if you still feel safe or not. Yeah, I know there's some Western European country that doesn't allow any vehicles to drive on the sidewalk. Yeah, because mostly cars, but motorbikes in Vietnam, there's a lot of motorbikers or bikers. They just drive on the sidewalk like nothing happens. So I don't know if that's okay for Europeans or Western country, but if you look back and seeing a vehicle still running towards you and you feels like you're going to crash, you can just go to a sideway, or you just if you don't want to go to the sideway and uh, and you just go straight, and then just go right or go left to avoid a crash. Yeah, it's actually sidewalk actually. So don't be like Vietnamese youngster and you just leave your vehicles in the middle of the roads and just go to the sidewalk when the red light comes. So when the red light comes and you look back, you have to look back, and you still seeing there's a vehicle comes towards you and you feel like you're gonna crash. Yeah, you together with your vehicles, with your bikes, with your motorbikes, you just go to the sidewalks, or you just if you don't want to go to the sidewalks, you can go straight to the roads as fast as you can, and then you can go right or go left to avoid the crash. But however, since that was trucks that contains the containers or any type of trucks, there's a lot of blind spots that the truck driver cannot see. So if you want to avoid a crash, so you just stay away from the truck drivers, or else the containers at the backs may fall towards you and smash you like a beetles. Or if you are in front of the truck drivers, you have to like move up because the truck driver cannot see what's down below very well. And the same things if you are behind the truck containers. So It was supposed to be a really happy New Year's for Vietnamese people, but unfortunately, uh, sad things happens, and all that I have to say is screw the Vietnamese youngster who make jokes and disrespect on the victims who has involved to the truck accidents by just leaving your vehicles in the middle of the road when the red light comes and just runs to the sidewalks and look back to see if there's larger vehicles come towards. And yeah, like I said, I'm gonna put the footage as well as a bunch of news in the description. If you are non-Vietnamese speakers and you want to know what I'm talking about, and all I have to say, drive safely. And I know we are better than this. We should know better. We should know better that we cannot make jokes on anything. You cannot make pranks on anything. And also, what happened to concern that in 2018 Logan Paul is a famous American actor, and unfortunately his young fans his fans are really young to knows everything, what the jokes about and what the pranks about, and what also what content should watch on the internet. And unfortunately that it keep happens on 2019, and there's still youngsters making jokes on the victims who got injured or killed in some not just truck accidents but some like cars accident or some any types of vehicle accidents. So I really don't want that to happen in 2019. And so 2019 I just want everyone to be happy, to behave well, drive safely, don't want to cause any more deaths, and thinking about the kid future as well, because kids are getting like more and more hunger for educational and more creativities and more entertaining. So since as we brothers or sisters or parents out there, why not teaching kids something that really useful when talking about on social medias or on the internet, on the contents that the children are watching. And yeah, I know my channel is not educational, it's just full of gamings on Love Live Squad festivals and also and whip games. And it just basically is that I love those two games. I just want to continue those two games, and I want to keep them growing on my channel. But it doesn't mean that I'm just playing on just one games in my channel. It's kind of boring. It has to be like varieties on all the other random games that I also play. So my YouTube channel is pretty much like gaming channel, but it's not gaming all the times. There's sometimes I just want to sit down and I want to share my thoughts on what's been happening like in the past few days. I just want to thank you guys for the amount of subscribers, even though I'm just small subscribers. But I appreciate on every single one of you who enjoy my video, every single subscribers who subscribe to my channel, and I don't know how to thank enough. So I just trying to work as hard as I can for 2019. And yeah, it's not a good way to start New Year's for Vietnamese people, especially at January 2nd. The truck contains the containers, uh, very gigantic trucks, crashing to the 21 motorbikers. And after the incidents, some people got injured, some people's dead, and youngsters making jokes and making fun of the incidents is unacceptable. So I want I want 2019 to be the year for the kids' futures. Kids, kids are like more entertaining than ever. Like times goes by, more matures. I enjoy every single creativities and imagination kids gifts to every single adults out there. Let them have fun. So when there's necessary, teach kids some things that maybe relative on social medias and for their entertainment, for their interests. So the kids know what should do and what should not do. Don't be like Vietnamese youngsters. They're not gangsters. Don't be like Vietnamese youngsters making jokes on the truck accidents and the victims who got involved. And uh, yeah, so uh, uh, I will not making videos about the incidents, or I just want to say it's happy 2019. I wish you guys all happy. And on the bright side that I'm currently hyping for Love Live School Idol movie Over the Rainbow. So I may be not able to make it on the movie theaters, but I am glad that I can watch it on the internet as every animes reactors do. So and of course, if you are animes fans out there, so are online trees and a bunch of stuffs, Bang Dreams, a lot of musical animes, and a lot of other events, and you guys can still having fun. If you having to go out on the streets, go to movie theaters, be more careful and try safety, because 2019, I think it's gonna be the years for everyone's safety for now. So it has to start like right now, starting at the traffic safety. So of course, don't be Logan Paul. Don't be so Vietnamese youngsters who making jokes on the truck's accident and the victims who got involved. Don't be like them. Instead, why not like making charities for them? Why not like spread the words on everybody's that you cannot making jokes on dead people. You cannot make jokes on anything that is inappropriate and post it on social media. And also, yeah, when the red light and when the red light goes on, you have to stop. But there's, if necessary, you have to look back on if there's anything wrong happens. If you're at the front row and you're having a small vehicles, then and cars, then buses, then trucks or anything large. And if you're at the front rows, you look back, and if necessary, you have to pass the red light, or you just go to the sidewalk. But go sidewalk along with your vehicles, but do not leave your vehicle behind. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna do the normal intro outro because it will cause sensitivity and disrespectful for the victims and victims' relatives. I'm not gonna monetize this video as well. I just want to share my thoughts in these videos and just you guys notice to be more careful when you join the traffic, and also do not making jokes on the accidents, car accidents, motorbike accidents, bus accident, any accident. Do not make jokes on the injured people as well. Do not make jokes on dead people. You cannot jokes on anything. You cannot prank on anything. All you have to do is just like be a good person. And 2019 just getting started, and let's start doing this right now. So yeah, guys, I'm just a college student. I am not have enough money to like raising a big charities like other big YouTubers do. But if you guys out there who have enough condition, who wants to have the victims who got involved to the truck accidents in Vietnam, especially in Vietnam anyway, because this news is not widespread on international yet. But if you do want to help with the help out with the victims who got injured in the truck accidents, you can raise your charities and spread the word to other people who want to donate to the people who got injured, or you can spread the words like me and who are talking about the incidents and trying to give people idea on what I am talking about on the trucks accidents. Or there's many things you can do on having the victims who got injured in the trucks accidents in Vietnam. I'm currently in the USA. It's really hard for me to help them out, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't even have the permission to report the news because I'm not a reporter. But it's the right things to do, and I have to done that because last year I think there's people out there should learn by now that you cannot make jokes on anything. And it's also starting in 2018 as well, and right now it's starting 2019, and unfortunate things happens. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I don't want to make these videos way too long, and this video is demonetized anyway. I don't want to make any money on anything on this video because it's not my normal contents that I normally do in my YouTube channel. But also I'm gonna leave down the description down below and trying to find as many help as I can. As normally people were saying, if you see something, say it. If you see something, just say it. If you have something wrong, if you have a sad feeling, say it. That will make you feel better. And as always, thanks for watching and goodbye.